Yo, it's your boy Jay Best, and welcome back to the Straight to the Point podcast, season 3, episode 7. On today's episode, I will be discussing the Cowboys' victory on Thursday. Was it something or was it nothing? And following that, I'll be giving y'all my week 4 picks for this upcoming weekend. All right, but before we get into any of that, I want to thank God for waking me up this morning and allowing me to talk about sports, which is something that I love to do. Without him, I would not be here right now. So let's go ahead and let's get straight to the point. All right, on Thursday night football. The Dallas Cowboys defeated the Giants 20-15. Okay. Dak Prescott went 22 for 27, 221 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb had 7 catches for 98 yards and a touchdown. On the flip side, Daniel Jones went 29 for 40, 281 yards, 1 interception. And then Malik Neighbors, the rookie sensation, has 12 catches for 115 yards. All right. So was this something or was this nothing? Last week, the Jets faced the Patriots on Thursday Night Football, and I asked this exact same question following that game. Well, the Jets beat the Patriots 24-3, right? So following that, I said it's something because we saw a good team in the Jets treat the Patriots like they were a bad team, right? When you watched that game, you clearly saw who was the good team and who was the bad team, right? So it was something for the Jets. For us to see the Jets treat another team that way, that was something. This past Thursday was the opposite of that. We watched that game, and there's no way you could sit there and tell me with a straight face that the Cowboys was the better team on that field. I just can't. I can't believe that because that's not what I saw. What I saw was two teams that were equal. That's what I saw on Thursday night. The Cowboys did not separate themselves, or they didn't go out there and make a statement. They went out there and they played a team that was equal to them. And y'all know how I feel about the Giants. I think the Giants are bottom barrel cheeks. That was the tier level I put them on in the beginning of the year. And you went out there, you won 20-15. So was it something or was it nothing? It was nothing. Look, the Cowboys are nothing like they were last year. And last year was their chance to go and compete for a Super Bowl. It just was. Last year they had the great home record. It was not losing home games. Well, this year you already lost 2 in the first 4 weeks. Last year you was beating up on bad teams. 10 of their wins came against teams that were below 500. This year, you went against the Giants team. You did not beat up on them. You played equal to them, and you won a dogfight. It was 20. The final score is 20-15. So this is not the same Cowboys team. This is a worse Cowboys team. This is the Cowboys team that I believe is going to struggle against the good teams, and then against the bad teams, it's going to be close. It's not going to be blowouts like it was last year. I think that the Cowboys still have a question mark on the defense. Now, of course, Cowboy fans will come out here and say, "Oh, well, we shut down the Giants' run game. We shut down the Giants' run game." It's the Giants. Like that's what's bothering me. It's the Giants. Um, I have been once again. The Giants are bottom barrel cheeks to me. That win meant nothing. Okay, you held the Giants to like 20 something rushing yards. I mean 26 rushing yards, but you still have a problem because when you played against good running backs, against good teams in the Saints and the Baltimore Ravens, you gave up 115 to Alvin Kamara, you gave up 151 to Derrick Henry. Right, so there's still a question mark there. Until you stop a good running back with a good O line, that's when I will say the run game problem is being addressed or it's being solved. But until then, I'm not finna watch y'all stop Devin Singletary, right? And then give y'all kudos for stopping him. He's an average to below average running back to me. And I don't look at the Giants as an offense that can run the ball very well. I just don't. I don't fear their run game. So that question has not been solved when it comes to the run defense, right? And then offensively, you only put up 20 points. This was a team last year that put up 40 on the Giants. Of course, a lot of it has to do with the defense scoring touchdowns too, but it was like I said last year. You could clearly see that the Cowboys were 5 pay grades ahead of the New York Giants. After week 4, I can't say the same thing that I said last year. I just can't. And then this game also, the Giants had more yards, the Giants had more first downs, and the Giants also had more time of possession. So, like I said, I was watching a real football game. I was watching two teams that look like they're on the same level. That's what I saw on Thursday. Not sugarcoating nothing. That's just it is what it is. Right? This is like I said, it's no longer a team that can just beat up on the little guys because they are very close to being a little guy. That's just what it is this year for the Dallas Cowboys. And the next two opponents, unfortunately, DeMarcus Lawrence and Michael Parsons got hurt on Thursday night, and they're looking to miss a couple of weeks. So now you're about to play the Steelers next week, right? And then you'll play the Lions after that. Those are two teams that can run the football, and you're missing two of your best D linemen. So if I'm keeping it a buck, the Cowboys about to end up 2-4 before their bye week. That's no bueno. That's not good, right? So I think that this Cowboys team, the season is starting to unreal very fast. It's starting to get out of hand, I believe, even after that win. Because I don't feel the good vibes. I don't think that any Cowboys fan should leave that game thinking that we've solved our problems, that we're better now, that hey, those two blowout wins. Well, the Baltimore Ravens game wasn't a blowout, but those two blowout losses are behind us. Hey, it's not. Y'all still have not figured out the run defense, in my opinion, because you didn't have a good enough opponent to test y'all's run defense. And on top of that, offensively, outside of CD Lamb, you have no run game, which cannot like the run game is so important in the NFL because it helps the pass game. Right? The run opens the pass. Whenever you're one dimensional, you can't be a good football team. And the Cowboys to me are one dimensional because nobody fears their run game, which means okay, they're going to have to throw the ball. And the Cowboys can't just say, okay, they think we're throwing the ball, so we will just run it because their run offense is not that good, anyways. So it's a lot of weight on Dak Prescott's shoulders. And I think that we have to understand that I didn't think the Cowboys were going to be good this year. I thought they was going to miss the playoffs from the jump, like before the season even started. But we have to look at this team as y'all are in win now mode. Y'all made your QB the highest paid player in NFL history. Y'all just gave CeeDee Lamb a bag, right? Y'all have to be in contention, and I say it all the time because Jerry Jones is your owner. He wants to win another one before it's all said and done. So every year is a win it all year, right? Is it all in? You have to win it every single year. There's not one year that we go into the season and we say the Cowboys should not have any hopes of winning the Super Bowl. The Cowboys shouldn't even be thinking about a Super Bowl. That would never happen because of their owner, Jerry Jones, and because y'all paid Dak Prescott that much money to have results, right? And this year, I don't think the results are going to be what Cowboy fans want to see. And this is why I was highly against giving Dak Prescott that money. He hasn't played bad this year, but I just don't think that he's the guy that can elevate y'all, especially with no run game. And now that you don't have an elite defense, he's not the guy that can just help y'all win 10, 11, 12 games. That's just how it is in my opinion. So was it something or was it nothing? I believe it was nothing. I think the Cowboys are still who I think they are, a team that cannot make the playoffs this year, a team that will not make the playoffs this year. All right. Let's move on to my week 4 picks, and now I'm gonna get y'all out of here. Last week, I ended up going 8-8. Last week was a funny week, right? Like I said, you got to pick upsets every week. But this was a week where the Vikings smacked the Texans, right? This was a week where the Browns lost to the Giants, right? They really showed me that they're cheeks too. And then this was also a week where the Buccaneers lost to the Broncos and the Raiders lost to the Panthers, right? It was a lot of upsets that even I wouldn't pick that happened last week. That's why I said, look, I told my family this when we were talking about making picks for games and stuff. You gotta put upsets in your picks this year. You have to. That's how unpredictable the NFL is. You just have to put upsets in there. And I actually went ahead and put an upset in this week. I picked the Giants on Thursday night, not because I think the Giants are a better team, but because I thought that the Dallas Cowboys just wouldn't go in there and steamroll them. I thought the Giants had a chance, and best believe they did, and lost by 5 points. But right now, because of that loss, now I'm 27-22, which is not bad. Still 71%. Still above 500, which is where I want to stay. And my worst week so far is 8-8, so I have not gone below 500, which means we good, right? So let's go ahead and let's bounce back this week. I'm already on one, but we're gonna fix it on Sunday. All right. First, we got the Saints and the Falcons. I'm going with the Saints. The Saints They did not play good at all last week, and the Eagles' defense to me is not that good. So I thought it was going to be a shootout, if anything, but it was a very low scoring contest. So the Eagles made that offense struggle. I can't see their offense struggling 2 weeks in a row, especially to Atlanta Falcons defense that can give up points. I don't think they're going to shut out. I don't think they can shut out the New Orleans Saints, and I think New Orleans Saints are going to bounce back from what happened last week. So I got the New Orleans Saints, and this is a very important game because if y'all remember, I said the first 5 games for Atlanta is going to be very tough, and that might determine the rest of their season. Right? They already played the Steelers first week. They played the Eagles. Then they played the Chiefs. They squeezed one out against the Eagles, so they really should be on 3 right now, if we're being honest. And now they're playing the Saints, right? So this is a big game early in the season because it's a divisional matchup, and both teams can either be 2-2 or the Falcons can walk away 1-3. So I think it's a big game, but I do got the Saints beating the Falcons. And Chris Olave is not playing either, but I'm gonna take the Saints over the Falcons. All right. The Rams and the Bears. Look, I'm after what I saw last week, I am no longer I haven't picked against the Rams yet, but I will never pick against Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford, man. That honestly, if it wasn't for Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, those two would be the best quarterback coach duo in the NFL by far because they figure it out. They're gonna figure it out regardless. Last week with no Cooper Cup, with no Puka Nakua, they beat a beat up O-line. They beat a 49ers team. This week they're playing a Chicago team that offensively is still figuring it out, right? They don't have a run game, so Caleb Williams has to throw the ball like 40 times, 30 times a game, which is kind of not good for him because he has to he's it's kind of he's skipping that development stage to where we of course we all thought that he would come into the league and be balling right away, right? But he doesn't have any time to develop because he's already having to throw the ball 30, 40 times a game. So I got the Rams winning this one. I think that it's going to be a low scoring game. I don't think it's going to be very high scoring because the Rams can't run the score up because they don't have their guys. But I think that the Rams defense will figure it out against a struggling Chicago offense, but it should be a good one. But I'm gonna go with the Rams. All right, the Vikings and the Packers. I'm going with the Packers. All right, Kevin O'Connell and Sam Darnold. Look, they are doing an amazing job in Minnesota, as well as Brian Flores, the defensive coordinator. Look, this Vikings team has caught us all by surprise. And I said that they're pretenders. I don't think they're contenders. And I think that the real contenders in this matchup is the Packers. Look, Matt LaFleur has done just as well of a job as Kevin O'Connell because Kevin O'Connell has his guy that they came into the year with Sam Darnold because J.J. McCarthy got hurt with Matt LaFleur, he does not have Jordan Love yet. Jordan Love might play this week, but he's had Malik Willis the past 2 weeks, and they won both of those games. So the Packers season could have been altered and shifted if they wouldn't have won these past 2 games, these past 2 weeks. But they found a way to do it with Malik Willis. When Jordan Love comes back, even if he doesn't come back, I'm picking the Packers to win at home against the Minnesota Vikings in that divisional matchup. All right, next we got the Steelers and the Colts. Look, if you bet against the Steelers in the first 3 weeks, clearly you was wrong. And once again, this week, do not bet against Pittsburgh. Okay, Pittsburgh's going against Colts team. Anthony Richardson right now is struggling. All right, I think because if we're being technical, this is his rookie year because last year he was hurt so much. I wouldn't even count last year. This is his rookie year, and right now he's running to a rookie wall. I think that he struggled the past couple of weeks. The first game he looked amazing, right? In the past 2 weeks he has not, and this week it doesn't get any better because you want to get a defense that's only allowing 8.6 points per game in Pittsburgh. Right now, you got to worry about TJ Watt. And look, do not forget this name, Nick Herbig. Okay, Nick Herbig is the next upcoming edge rusher in Pittsburgh. He's going to fill in TJ Watt's shoes when TJ Watt leaves. All right, he is a dog. All right, y'all watch for him this upcoming weekend. And then, of course, Patrick Queen, Dante Jackson. You got Minka Fitzpatrick, Deshaun Elliott, Joey Porter Jr. Like this defense is so stacked, and I think that Anthony Richardson is going to struggle. And also the run defense for Pittsburgh is very, very good. So Jonathan Taylor can't just save the day. I think it's going to be in the Colts defense is not that good either. So I think the Pittsburgh Steelers should win this one with ease. All right. Next we got the Broncos and the Jets. I'm going with the Jets. I think the Jets have found a rhythm. Okay. You saw week 1, they lost to the 49ers. It was the score was better than the game was. We all know they should have got blown out by more, but the score was a little close. The second week, they barely beat the Titans. Then they blew out the Patriots, and now you're going against a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix in New York. The defense should be able to eat. And then Aaron Rodgers, I think he's getting better every week. Literally, like on the last episode, I talked about Justin Fields, how he's getting better every single week with Pittsburgh. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers looks different every single week. He's getting better and better back to his old self, getting more and more comfortable. So I think that the Broncos defense won't pose a threat to that. I think the Jets will win this game at home on Sunday. All right, next we got the Eagles and the Bucks. Look, the Eagles are down. AJ Brown is questionable, but they're down Devontae Smith, right? And they might be down AJ Brown too. So the offense to me is not having that firepower that it has. But the Bucks defense is not any good. So this is going to be a Saquon Barkley show, in my opinion. And I think that the Eagles are going to pull this one out against the Bucks. The Bucks last week they laid an egg against the Denver Broncos, and I think that's going to cost them a little bit because they could be 3-0 right now. They should be 3-0 right now, and probably 3-1 after this weekend. But now it might just fall to 2-2, which is not good. Because remember I told you the Saints might go 3-1 this week. But it would be crazy if the Buccaneers lose, the Saints lose, then the Falcons, Saints, and the Bucks are all 2-2. So that's how close that NFC South division is. Like I said, it would be. All right, but I got the Eagles winning this week. I think Jalen Hurts is going to find a way to win this game, even without his top two weapons, if A.J. Brown does not play. All right, next we got the Bengals and the Panthers. Look, man, the Bengals got to win one eventually. And what better way to do it than this week against the Carolina Panthers? The Panthers, look, last week, Andy Dalton came in and looked like a professional. He looked like a pro, and he ate up that Raiders defense. I think that he might eat because the Bengals defense is terrible, but I think Joe Burrow can outplay him, and I think they can win this game. Look, they have to, right? They're not. I highly doubt they'll go 0-4, but this is one of them picks where I just gotta trust that Joe Burrow is not gonna let this team lose four straight. I just don't see it happening, so I got the Bengals winning this game. All right, next we got the Jaguars and the Texans. Look, I told y'all I think the Giants are the worst team in the league, but the Jaguars are very close to it. All right, Trevor Lawrence, I was wrong a while ago, like a couple years ago on the podcast. I said Trevor Lawrence is going to be this, and then last year I love to bring this up because I was right. I was right on the money. It was 4-2, and I said, bro, I don't want this team anymore. I don't like this team. Something's fishy about this team. And best believe they ended up missing the playoffs. And this year, I came into this year saying I don't want no stock in the Jaguars. And best believe they're 0-3. All right, this is just not a good football team. And the Texans should be mad about what happened last week in Minnesota. They should take out their frustration on a bad Jaguars team. The Texans should blow them out by a lot. All right, they got the Commanders and the Cardinals. This one might be a little shootout between the two teams, but I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. Okay, I think. Look, Jaden Daniels is good. Okay, I'm not gonna say he's not bad. He's good, but I think that we're praising him a little bit too much for going against a bad defense in the Bengals. Okay, the Cardinals defense is not that much better, but I do think that the Cardinals offense can really keep the ball moving against this Commanders defense, which is bad as well. So this might just be a shootout, but I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. I think their offense is just better, and I think they can outscore this Commanders team. All right, the Patriots and the 49ers. I was thinking about giving this upset a try, but I'm going to go with the 49ers. I can't pick the Patriots. All right, the Patriots doesn't have anything that it gives them an edge over anyone else. They just don't, right? You can only pray that the 49ers have a really bad game if you pick the Patriots. But I'm gonna go with the 49ers. I think they'll find a way to win. They've lost two straight. And this is a gotta win game. This is a gotta have it game because you don't want to fall 1-3. Especially with a Rams team dealing with so many injuries, you want to win as many games as you can before Cooper Cup and Puka Nakua come back and that O-line get healthy. So the 49ers have to win this game. This is a must win for them to kind of keep that separation between them and the Rams. And especially because they lost to the Rams last week. So this is a big game for the 49ers, all right? Next, we got the Browns and the Raiders. I am not picking the Browns ever again. Ever again, I'm not picking the Browns ever again. Deshaun Watson is terrible. Okay, this team is bad, and I'm offended because people thought this team was gonna be better than us. Us as in the Steelers thought it was gonna be better than the Steelers in the division. I'm highly disappointed, highly disrespected. I'm disgusted that people thought this team was gonna be better than us, and now look at them. Look at them right now, 1-2, just lost to the freaking Giants, who I thought was that bad, and then y'all showed me that y'all might just be on that same level. So I'm never picking the Browns again. I don't care who they go against. But right now, I'm picking the Raiders over the Browns. Okay, the Raiders just lost to the Panthers. Right, both of these teams are coming off bad losses, but you got to pick somebody. I'm not picking the Browns. Okay, because that was just bad all around. All right, next we got the Chiefs and the Chargers. All right, I'm going with the Chiefs. The Chargers, no Derwin James, because he got suspended. No Rashawn Slater, the starting left tackle. No Joey Bosa. They're missing three big pieces to this team, and I don't know if Justin Herbert's playing either. They don't have enough, and the Chiefs are going to win this game with ease. And Mahomes might put up a lot of points in this game. I think the Chargers defense is pretty good, but missing Derwin James, that's a big loss. And Joey Bosa, that's another big loss. So I think that the Chiefs will win this game, man. I don't know why I'm trying to analyze it, make it sound all cute. The Chiefs will win. All right, next we got the Bills and the Ravens. I'm going with the Bills and in Baltimore. I don't think Baltimore is good either. I think that they beat a bad team in Dallas last week, and they almost let Dallas come back and win that game. Like this Baltimore Ravens team has problems, and I even said during the NFL vote that I thought that they would have identity problems, right? I thought that they would have identity issues with adding Derrick Henry and Todd Monken, their new offensive coordinator. He came to Baltimore to unlock Lamar's arm. They want Lamar to throw the ball more. That's why they brought Todd Monken into this offense, right? That's why they got rid of Greg Roman, who's with the Chargers right now, running the ball. That's what he was doing in Baltimore. They was running the ball so much. People want to see Lamar Jackson throw the ball, so they fired him, hired Todd Monken, and now you bring in Derrick Henry, who demands at least 15 to 20 carries a game. I thought there would be identity crisis, and I think there is an identity crisis because through the first 2 weeks, they wasn't running the ball a lot. They kept trying to throw the ball. Then last week they ran the ball so much because the Dallas Cowboys run defense is so bad. So what are they gonna do this week? They gonna pass it a lot. They gonna run a lot. I think it's an identity crisis. I think the Bills have just been red hot so far, and this Baltimore Ravens secondary is not good at all. And they're going to use Josh Allen, right? So it might be a fun one, but I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills on the road. All right. On Monday night, we have another double header. First game between the Titans and the Dolphins. Look, if I ever come up here and pick Will Levis to win a game, I want somebody to like come on the show and slap me, okay? Because I would never pick Will Levis to win a game in this league because every single week he has made a boneheaded play. The very first week, remember, he threw the interception and had his hand on his head, right? Then the second week, against the Jets, he tried to get away from pressure and he threw a lateral backwards pass that led to a fumble and the Jets recovered it. Then his last week, he threw a pick six to Jair Alexander, literally threw it right to him. So he every week he's bound to give the other team the ball or bound to give them points. So why would I pick against them? Even though they're going against a Miami team with no quarterback, I got to pick Miami to win this game and figure out a way to win. All right. And then last but not least, we got the Seahawks and the Lions. Look, I am I just can't see the Seahawks going 4-0. I didn't see them going 3-0 this year. But I can't see them going 4-0. I'm going with the Detroit Lions. This is the first time I picked the Lions this year, I think, because the first week they played the Rams. I picked the Rams. The next week they played the Bucks. I picked the Bucks. And then last week they played the Cardinals. I picked the Cardinals. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Detroit Lions for the first time this year. At home Monday night, I just can't see the Seahawks going 4-0. I think they're a pretender as well. So I'm gonna go at Detroit, man. Hopefully Detroit can make me question why I question them, if that makes sense. Because I don't think they're as good as we thought they would be. I think they're struggling being the hunted and not the hunters. Right. Last week they was the underdog becoming a good team. This year they're a good team. So teams are going to bring out the best in them every single week. And they haven't looked great yet. I know it's early, but they played a Rams team that was beat up. They played a Cardinals team that's not good, and they also played a Bucks team that they should beat. And in all three games, I just wasn't impressed with any performance. Right. So this week, hopefully they shut me up, and they get the W against the Seahawks. All right. We're aiming to go above 500. If I can go above 500 every single week, then that is a plus year for me. All right. But that is it for the Straight to the Point podcast, man. I will see y'all next week. Make sure that y'all watch all the games this week. Make sure you check out my Instagram, my Facebook, and my TikTok at the bottom of the screen. All right. And y'all stay blessed. And y'all, I'll see y'all next week.